Welcome to the first of an all-new sub-series. In these, we'll be discussing the various aspects and current events surrounding Super Smash Bros. So pull up a seat and be sure to listen. And so now I want to talk about the 500-pound spiky-haired elephant in the room. My reaction basically amounts to this. What? Am I second? How? I mean, did anyone see this coming? I'm pretty sure the only two people who saw this coming were Sakurai and Shulk. It wasn't entirely out of the question that we got that we get some kind of content from Final Fantasy, but for one through DLC, and for two, Cloud? The guy's barely been associated with Nintendo at all, ever. He's been primarily a Sony character. I thought it wasn't out of the possibility that we could get someone for Final Fantasy, but I was thinking someone like Black Mage, or someone that would exemplify the earlier Final Fantasy games. But no one saw this coming. I'm not against it at all. I'm just surprised. Although, I think this could mean some kind of precedent for something. The fact is that every third-party character we've seen so far has been not only a massive gaming icon, which Cloud certainly is, but they've also had some kind of significant presence on a Nintendo system at some point in their history. And while Final Fantasy certainly has, Cloud himself hasn't. Yet. See, now I'm starting to wonder if this could be a sign of things to come. We don't know for sure that Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to be PS4 exclusive. Is there a chance that it could be coming to the NX? But let's talk about the guy himself. Overall, I'm very, very impressed by how they brought Cloud into Smash, but based on that trailer. He seems very inspired. He's definitely not just a generic swordsman. He has all these unorthodox attacks, these strange moves. Have you seen his down smashes up here? He's got all these unusual stabs and slashes, and it's just interesting, you know? And his specials. That was a stroke of genius, having his lore and limit breaks be used as special moves, and then having the limit break mechanic itself be one of his mechanics. I said mechanics twice. And then having the ability to just charge your limit gauge and then use it to amplify the next B move you use. That's very much unique. That's something different. It's something that will give him his own identity within the context of Smash, and that's very, very important because, as far as Sakurai is concerned, as we've seen, he cares just as much about new characters, potential newcomers, bringing something new to the table as far as Smash goes. He wants them to feel like something new, and they did a very good job with him. Honestly, I could definitely use him as a secondary should the need arise. Let's talk about the other stuff that came with him. How about that Midgard stage, huh? Although it's obviously probably not going to be competitively viable because a couple of those hazards are rather intrusive and kind of turn the focus of the match to themselves. Ifrit completely taking over one side of the offstage, the way Odin splits it in half with the Zentetsuken. It's awesome, but not entirely practical competitively. I feel like stage hazards do get a bit of a bad rap sometimes, but a couple of these just do a little too much. But regardless, just having the stage there is cool. Even if you can only play it on the Omega version sometimes, people are going to pick that over FD occasionally. And the best part of this means we're going to get Final Fantasy music in Smash. Come on! There's just so much to work with there. And I really hope that we get more than just music from Final Fantasy VII, just because there's so much to choose from there. You could Final Fantasy IV's boss theme. How about the Archfiend fight theme? How about Extez fight theme? Dreadful fight from Final Fantasy VI. How about the boss theme from Final Fantasy IX, if you want to stretch? That's a really good one. Or Force Your Way from 8, or you could throw in some other stuff too. Maybe an overworld theme or two. Battle on the Big Bridge, that's a good one. Or what about Dancing Mad? Although within Final Fantasy VII itself, if they just decide to just stick to that game, there's still some good stuff to pick from. We heard Let the Battles Begin, and we heard Those Who Fight Further in the trailer itself, so you can almost bet those are going to show up on the Midgard stage, and One Wing Angel is going to be there. It's just gotta. So we're going to end up with some awesome music nonetheless. I really like this, even though it wasn't my most wanted, even though I wasn't particularly hoping for it. I'm pleasantly impressed, and I really hope this is a sign of things to come as far as quality goes. So in regards to the Smash Ballot, I don't think Cloud was involved with the Smash Ballot at all. I think he was a non-ballot suggestion. It's just too damn early. The Smash Ballot closed last month. It's been almost a month and a half, let's be honest. It takes far too long to create these characters from scratch for him to have been finished using ballot nominations. Even if they started working on them only most of the way through the ballot and didn't wait for it to finish, it takes them like several months to put these characters together, as they've said before. And though the kind of assembly line-ish nature of creating these characters means they can work on several at a time, creating one from start to finish takes far too long for Cloud to have been a ballot suggestion. And I mean, he does kind of fit what we could see as a non-ballot character based on what we've seen based on Ryu. I mean, he's a massive gaming icon of a third-party character from a company who's been on, to be honest, pretty good terms with Nintendo as of late. Although Square Enix's biggest titles haven't found their way on Nintendo systems lately, they have done a lot of other things with Nintendo in recent years. I mean, we've seen all these spin-offs. We got so many games coming to 3DS now. We got the Final Fantasy Explorers. We got 2 Dragon Quest titles that people were afraid weren't going to come out of Japan, and now they are. I mean, we got Bravely Second coming soon. We have, after Bravely Default was the success it was. I mean, things are just very, very buddy-buddy between Nintendo and Square Enix. And honestly, it's one of those things that kind of makes sense in hindsight. Although I do wish we were able to find out the exact context of how the deal happened, the exact nature of it, because it would kind of help us as far as speculation goes in figuring out if this is going to be a one or, I guess now, a second time thing, or if this means third-party characters are a little more easier, that's lovely. If they're a little easier than we thought they'd be, or if this is just a special situation and we're going to be seeing mostly or entirely first-party characters from here on out, it'd be interesting to know. Although just overall, I feel like this doesn't affect the Smash Ballot in any way, and we still have a lot to look forward to, especially since they did honestly, that was a really brilliant move announcing that dedicated Smash Direct for December after the Cloud trailer, because there were going to be some people that are going to be salty and more people that were going to be just kind of confused by the sheer shock of it and wonder if the characters they're invested in are kind of out of the running, and then, oh wait, no, here's this dedicated Smash Direct coming in a month. That was a brilliant move announcing it then. And just the fact that we have one coming up is very awesome. I know there are people that are kind of jumping to conclusions, especially since a side announcement mentioned that this Smash Direct coming in December is going to be the quote last one for Super Smash Bros. For 3DS and Wii U. You have some people going, oh no, that's going to be the last of the DLC. But based on how it was worded, I think this is just going to be the last dedicated Smash Direct. I mean, if they're just talking about the Smash Ballot, that's pretty much the last thing they really need to talk about in regards to massive Smash news. I mean, once they start working on ballot content, you could pretty much leave the reveals for regular directs like they did with this one. I mean, and this one was gigantic. So I don't think we're done yet at all, to be honest. And I've noticed quite a bit of the internet has caught on as well. I mean, I've seen almost the majority of comments and discussion about it. I've seen think Cloud was non-ballot and think that the Smash Direct coming up is just the last Smash Direct and not the last Smash content completely. So overall, I think the future's looking very interesting, and I think very few characters have really lost any ground in regards to their DLC chances, except for, I guess, Black Mage or someone else from Final Fantasy like Cecil or Terra. They've lost some chances, obviously. Although, on a side note, I think Geno actually kind of gained some chances because now Square Enix is officially involved with Smash Brothers. Although, his chances have kind of gone up from impossible to long shot, so they're still not very good, but they're there at least. It's something, I guess. So, what do we take from all this? Basically, we still have no clue what Sakurai has up his sleeves. And that's probably the most impressive part about all of this. None of it was leaked. None of it. We were all completely shocked when Cloud walked up onto walked up on camera. And, it's just, it just kind of rekindles faith in the community as a whole that this kind of stuff can get in without it being leaked. I mean, we saw it with Robin and Lucina back a year and a half ago, but just to have this reinforced on this much scale is just, yeah. And so, we still got a hell of a ride to go, folks. Let's just leave it at that. There's a lot more to go. Hopefully, we're going to be seeing a lot more characters, a lot of choices from the ballot, a lot more unique, interesting, fresh additions to the roster, many of whom are going to be fan favorites, along with maybe a couple wild cards or so that certainly become new fan favorites because of how well they're designed. I mean, we saw some of those on the base roster, and it'd be kind of cool to have some surprises, you know? But, what can we take from this? Sakurai's wild ride is far from over. So, I'll see you guys perhaps sometime soon.